beautiful souls. Welcome back to Energize Your Passion, the place where we fill your heart with positivity, inspiration, and real life conversations that make you think, laugh, and grow. I'm your host, Sunshine, and today we're diving into a topic that's got people talking about should a credit score matter in the dating phase? We've all heard the saying, love conquers all. But let's be real, when love meets financial responsibility, things can get a little complicated. So today, we're going to unpack it all. Should we be concerned about our potential partner's credit score? Or is love really enough? We've got listener stories, expert insights, and some real talk coming your way. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. Segment 1, Love versus Logic, Finding the Balance. All right, let's set the stage. When we first start dating someone, we're usually caught up in attraction, right? Chemistry, and shared interests. But when do finances enter the chat? Or should finances enter the chat? Money can be an uncomfortable topic, especially in the early stages of a relationship. We're so focused on whether we click with someone emotionally, mentally, and physically that financial habits often take a back seat. And let's be honest, no one wants to go on a romantic dinner date and have a deep dive discussion about credit scores. But here's the thing. Sooner or later, money becomes part of the equation. The question is, at what point should we start paying attention? Jasmine, 32, shares her experience of falling head over heels for someone, only to discover that financial irresponsibility became a major stressor in their relationship. Jasmine's story is one that so many people can relate to. You meet someone, you're smitten, and you assume that everything will just fall into place. But as time goes on, the little things start to add up. Unpaid bills, reckless spending, and a lack of financial planning. And before you know it, what started as a dreamy romance turns into a real struggle. It's not about being materialistic. It's about being responsible. On the flip side, some people argue that a credit score is just a number, not a reflection of a person's character or their potential in a relationship. And that brings us to our next story. Mike, 29, tells us how his girlfriend didn't care about his credit score, and they built financial stability together from scratch. But keep in mind, Mike is only 29. He's still young. So age does come into view when you're talking about financial responsibility and a credit score. To be honest, Mike's story is refreshing because it challenges the ideal that a bad credit score is an instant red flag. His girlfriend believed in him, saw his potential, and instead of walking away, she supported him as he worked towards financial stability. That kind of teamwork is what makes relationships thrive. Love isn't just about where someone is today, it's about where they're willing to go and how much effort they're willing to put in to grow together. So where's the balance? Should we walk away if someone has a bad credit score? Or should we be willing to work through financial challenges together? This is where love meets logic. We have to ask ourselves, is this person's financial situation a result of temporary setbacks or long-term irresponsibility? Are they actively working on improving their financial health? Or are they making the same mistakes over and over? It's not about the score itself, it's about the habit that led to it. Some people believe that love should be unconditional. And while that sounds beautiful, the reality is that love and practicality go hand in hand. Money isn't just about paying the bills, it's about security, trust, and shared goals. If two people have drastically different views on money, it can lead to tension, resentment, and even breakups. That being said, if someone is willing to learn, grow, make better financial decisions, does that mean we should overlook their past mistakes? That's where personal values come in. Some people see financial struggles as an opportunity to build together, while others prefer to find a partner who already has their finances in order. And let's not forget the societal pressures. We live in a world where financial status often influences how we perceive someone's worth. But should it? Should love really come with financial prerequisites? Or is that just another unrealistic standard we've placed on relationships? The bottom line is this: there's no right or wrong answer. What matters is that you're clear on your own priorities and what you're willing to accept in a relationship. Are you someone who values financial security above all else? Or do you believe that love and teamwork can overcome any financial obstacle? These are the questions we'll keep exploring as we move forward. But before we do, let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever faced a situation where finances played a major role in your dating experience? If so, how did it shape your perspective? Let's keep this conversation going. Coming up, we'll dive even deeper into how money influences relationships and when it's the right time to bring financial discussions into the mix. Segment 2: The Role of Money in Relationships. Money isn't just numbers, it represents security, values, and habits. In this segment, we'll talk about the deeper meaning of financial responsibility and how it affects relationships long term. At the start of any relationship, money may not seem like a major factor. You're more concerned about how much fun you're having together, how well you communicate, and whether your goals align. But as things progress, financial behaviors start to come into focus. It's not just about how much money someone has, it's about how they handle it. For some, financial responsibility is deeply ingrained from childhood. If you grew up in a household where money was tight, you might be extra cautious about saving and spending wisely. On the other hand, if money was never a concern, financial habits might not have been a major focus in your upbringing. These experiences shape how we approach money as adults and, in turn, how we handle finances in our relationships. Tamara, 40, opens up about how financial habits shaped her marriage and why she believed credit scores should be discussed early on. Tamara's story is one that many couples can relate to. She and her husband didn't talk much about money when they first started dating. But once they got serious, she realized their financial habits were completely different. She was a saver, while he was more of a spender. Over time, these differences led to tension, and it wasn't until they sat down and had an open conversation about their finances that they were able to find common ground. Tamara now believes that discussing financial habits early in a relationship can prevent future conflicts. Money isn't just about paying bills, it's about security, stability, and future planning. If one partner is financially responsible while the other is constantly struggling with debt, it can create an imbalance in the relationship. That's why some people believe credit scores should be a factor when choosing a partner. It's not about judging someone for their financial past, but about understanding their financial habits and whether they align with your own. On the flip side, there are plenty of people who believe that a credit score is just a number and doesn't define a person's worth or potential in a relationship. Kevin, 35, shares why he thinks credit scores are overrated and why communication and trust matters more. Kevin's perspective challenges the idea that financial history should dictate relationship success. He believes that open communication and mutual trust are far more important than a three-digit score. When he met his wife, she had a low credit score due to past financial mistakes. But what mattered more was her willingness to be transparent and work towards financial stability together. To Kevin, the key wasn't where she started financially, it was the effort she put into improving her situation. So, how do couples navigate this tricky subject? There's no universal answer, but one thing is clear: money conversations need to happen. Whether you're someone who prioritizes financial security or believes love can overcome financial struggles, being open and honest about your views on money can help set the foundation for a healthy relationship. We also have to consider timing. When is the right time to talk about money? Some people bring it up early, while others wait until they're already deeply committed. There's no perfect moment, but avoiding the conversation entirely can lead to surprises down the road. The goal isn't to make money the center of your relationship, but rather to ensure you're on the same page when it comes to financial values. At the end of the day, financial compatibility is about more than just numbers. It's about mindset, responsibility, and shared goals. Whether you think credit scores matter or not, having financial discussions early can help couples avoid misunderstandings and build a stronger future together. Coming up, we'll explore whether a low credit score should be a deal breaker or if love really does conquer all. Segment 3: Deal breaker or just a number? Let's get into the juicy part. Should a low credit score be a deal breaker, or is it just one piece of a bigger puzzle? A credit score is often seen as a reflection of financial habits, but should it be the ultimate deciding factor in a relationship? For some, it's a deal breaker because they see it as an indicator of financial responsibility. For others, it's just a number, something that can change with time and effort. The challenge comes in deciding what weight it should hold in a relationship. Some people argue that a bad credit score is just a temporary setback and not a reflection of someone's true character. Others believe that poor financial choices indicate deeper issues with responsibility and planning for the future. It all comes down to perspective and priorities. Lisa, 27, explains why she ended a promising relationship after finding out her boyfriend had massive debt and a history of bad financial choices. Lisa's story is one that a lot of people might relate to. She met someone she truly connected with, someone who made her laugh, supported her dreams, and had all the qualities she wanted in a partner. But when they started discussing their future, she discovered that he had accumulated a significant amount of debt and had a pattern of making poor financial decisions. It wasn't just about the numbers. It was about the habits that led to them. Lisa struggled with the ideal of walking away from someone she cared about, but ultimately, she couldn't see a stable future with someone who didn't take financial responsibility seriously. She made the tough decision to end the relationship, choosing long-term security over short-term love. While Lisa saw a bad credit score as a deal breaker, not everyone feels the same way. Some people believe in second chances and that financial habits can change with time and effort. Andre, 42, tells us why he didn't let his wife's past financial mistake define their future together. Andre's story takes a different angle. When he met his wife, she was upfront about her financial struggles. She had made some bad decisions in the past, but what mattered to Andre was that she was actively working on improving her situation. She was learning better money management, paying off debt, and making conscious efforts to improve her financial standing. Andre saw potential and a willingness to grow. So instead of walking away, he chose to stand by her side. Over the years, they worked together to build financial stability, proving that a credit score doesn't have to define a relationship. These two stories highlight the different perspectives people have when it comes to finances in relationships. Some view financial responsibility as a non negotiable, while others see it as something they can work on together. There's no universal answer, but the key takeaway is that financial discussions need to happen early in a relationship. Ignoring money matters won't make them go away, and surprises down the road can lead to tension and heartbreak. The way we view money is often shaped by our upbringing, experiences, and personal values. Some people grow up learning strict financial discipline, while others may not have had the same guidance. This may lead to different approaches to money in adulthood. The challenge in relationships is finding common ground and understanding where your partner is coming from. If one partner is financially responsible and the other is struggling, it doesn't always mean the relationship is doomed. What matters is the willingness to learn and grow together. A credit score is not a permanent label. It's a reflection of past actions, but it can be improved with effort and discipline. The real question is whether both partners are on the same page when it comes to financial goals and habits. One way to approach this is by having open and honest conversations about money. Instead of judging or criticizing, it's important to understand why a person is in their financial situation. Are they actively working to improve it, or do they continue making the same mistakes? Financial discussions can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary for a healthy and lasting relationship. Ultimately, deciding whether a low credit score is a deal breaker is a personal choice. For some, financial security is non negotiable. For others, the willingness to grow and change is more important than the current state of a credit report. What matters most is being honest with yourself about what you need in a relationship and finding someone whose financial mindset aligns with yours. Coming up, we'll explore how love and money can work together to build a strong foundation and create a financially healthy partnership. Segment 4, Love and Money, Making It Work. We've talked about the challenges, but now let's talk about the solutions. If you're in love with someone who isn't financially responsible, what can you do? One of the most important things to remember is that financial struggles don't have to define a relationship. Love and money can coexist in a healthy way if both partners are willing to communicate and grow together. It's not always easy, but with patience, understanding, and effort, couples can work through financial differences and build a strong foundation for the future. Financial habits are often deeply ingrained, shaped by upbringing, personal experiences, and sometimes even past mistakes. When two people come together, they bring their own perspectives on money, and sometimes their perspective don't align. Instead of letting financial differences drive a wedge between you, take it as an opportunity to learn from each other and develop better money management habits as a team. Danielle, 38, shared how she and her partner worked together to improve their financial standing. Danielle's story is a great example of how love and teamwork can overcome financial hurdles. When she met her partner, he wasn't in the best financial shape. He had some debt, didn't budget well, and avoided discussion about money. Instead of judging him, Danielle took a different approach. She opened up about her own financial journey, shared her budgeting tips, and slowly helped him understand the importance of planning for the future. It wasn't an overnight change, but together they worked towards financial stability. They set small goals, celebrated victories along the way, and built a partnership based on mutual support and growth. It takes patience and a non judgmental mindset to help a partner improve their financial habits. No one wants to feel like they're being lectured or controlled. So the key is to make it a collaborative process. Approach money conversations with empathy rather than criticism and focus on solutions instead of just pointing out problems. Chris, 31, talks about financial coaching and how it transformed his relationship. Chris had a different approach. When he and his girlfriend started facing financial struggles, he sought out financial coaching, not just for himself, but for them as a couple. He realized that they needed guidance from a professional who could help them build healthy money habits. Through coaching, they learned how to budget effectively, communicate about money without arguments, and set realistic financial goals that suited both of their needs. Chris says that making the decision to seek professional help saved their relationship and gave them the tools they needed to manage money as a team. Sometimes seeking external help can be a game changer, whether it's a financial coaching, online courses, or reading personal finance books together. Taking a proactive approach to money management can ease tension and create a sense of partnership. Money shouldn't be a taboo subject in a relationship. It should be something that's openly discussed and worked on together. Another important aspect of making love and money work is setting shared financial goals. It's not just about one person fixing the other's financial habits. It's about working together towards a common vision. Whether it's saving for a vacation, buying a home, or simply building an emergency fund, having shared goals give couples something to work towards as a team. It shifts the focus from individual finances to building a life together. As we move forward, let's remember that financial responsibility isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. If both partners are committed to improving their financial situation and supporting each other along the way, love and money can absolutely work hand in hand. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up with a big picture view of everything we've discussed and break down the key takeaways from today's episode. Segment 5, the big takeaway. Does credit score really matter? Now that we've heard the different perspectives, let's bring it all together. Throughout this conversation, one thing has become clear. Financial responsibility and love are deeply intertwined, but they don't have to be at odds. Some couples may see money as a make or break factor, while others find ways to work together despite the financial setbacks. What matters most is understanding your own boundaries, values, and expectations when it comes to money in relationships. One of the biggest takeaways from this discussion is that while a credit score itself is just a number, the habits behind it tells a much bigger story. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. People can grow, learn, and improve their financial situation if they're willing to put in the effort. The question becomes, is your partner willing to take that journey with you? For those who see financial habits as a reflection of responsibility, it's okay to want financial stability in a partner. After all, long-term commitments like marriages and family building often require teamwork when it comes to money management. However, dismissing someone solely based on their credit score without understanding their full financial picture might mean missing out on a truly great partner. At the same time, those who are working on improving their financial situation should take ownership of their own journey. Transparency is key. If your credit score isn't great, but you're actively working towards improvement, communicating that with your partner can make all the difference. Honesty about financial struggles can foster trust rather than create barriers. Some key summary points are: number one, a credit score alone doesn't define a person, but financial habits do matter. Number two, communication is key. Honest conversation about money can prevent major issues down the road. Number three, love and financial responsibility can coexist. It's all about finding balance. Number four, red flags versus opportunities for growth. Know the difference. Number five, if love is strong, there's always a way to build financial health together. I know at this point I should be closing out this segment, but before I close out this segment, I need to be brutally honest with you for a moment. I am in this dating phase. I took a couple of years off and I stopped dating. But one of my deal breakers for sure at this big age of mine is their credit score. I can't start over with someone that has bad credit, that's not financially educated, emotionally educated, or someone that does not like traveling. These are deal breakers for me. And I think when we get honest with ourselves and truly put our deal breakers out there, we'll connect with who we're supposed to connect with at the time we're supposed to connect. So for me, this episode hit home because you must have a good credit score for me to date you. My credit score is mid 800s, literally. I'm almost at a perfect score. That's not important. But what is important is that I'm financially educated and that I want to have a like-minded partner if I'm dating him. Because if we go into a serious phase of our relationship, and at this point, I'm only dating intentionally. So I'm not playing around or looking for somebody to just mess around with. It took me time to build myself back after my divorce. Shortly before my divorce, that'll be another episode to share. But what I'm saying is, I worked hard to be where I am, and I'm not about to be stupid just to date someone. And you shouldn't either. Be your authentic self. And if a good credit score matters to you, say that. from the beginning. Don't get deep into something based on a lie. All right? Let's end this segment. So, what do you think? Does credit score matter in dating? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Share your stories with us. Leave a 5-star rating and spread the love by sharing this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep your energy high and your passion alive. Love and light, beautiful people. This is Sunshine, signing off.